going to break down now and put together a really simple, duplicatable plan to supervisor. Now, we're going to show you a 90-day plan, but I don't want any of you to think you need to take 90 days to get there. Remember, I did it in 5 weeks. And if I can do it, I was just a farmer. I remember Chris Giles was saying, well, how come you're successful? You're just a farmer. She was really quite troublesome in the early days. I said, yeah, but I'm not any old farmer. I'm a bloody good farmer. So we're going to break down now. This is where we really want you to start paying attention, because building a business requires planning. And frankly, I don't want to build a business that happens by accident. I want to build a business that happens by design. And one of the things I'm big on, and anyone that works with me will know this, is structure. Because if you build stability and structure into your business, then you're building firm foundations. And foundations bring strength into your team and into your income. You don't want a flimsy business, you want business built on real strong foundations. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the basics of putting together your 90-day plan. However, even though I show it you as a 90-day plan, I want all of you to look at it. Oh, I don't want to confuse you. Maybe I'll bring this in at the end. We'll look at it as a 90-day plan, but I don't want you to take 90 days to get there. Did you all get that? Yeah? Okay, cool. So, perfect planning promotes plenty of profit. The 5 P's. Perfect planning promotes plenty of profit. And one of the things that I like to do is I like to plan at the end of the month, so a couple of days before the end of any month. I like to plan what's going to happen the next month. And then when I've planned what I want to achieve in that month, I break it back into weekly chunks and then daily activity. So I know what I've got to do every single day in order to reach the goal I've set for that month. That's in retailing, recruitment, development, retention. Do you see where I'm coming from? Because I don't want to get to the end of the month and go, oh my goodness, I should have done X, Y, Z, and I'm trying to bring it all together in 24 hours. That is a stressful way to build business. But more importantly, as you begin to recruit, it's not a good example to set to others. So in order to help you get to supervisor, let's have a look at the plan that we put in place in the first 90 days. Now, why 90 days? Well, very often when you recruit, it's not perfect that you recruit on the first of the month. Sometimes it could be at the end of the first week, the end of the second week. But truly, I believe that in month 1, if someone has not joined with the last couple of days, that they can quite easily do what we call a 5-case credit month. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to use and retail the product. And we're also going to put some activity in place. So we're going to break, I'm going to go back to there. We're going to look at what you do with a brand new FBO when you first get them recruited. Whether you do it on Zoom, whether you do it face-to-face, whether you do it in a group, it doesn't matter. You know, we're very hybrid in our approach in the way that we work nowadays. You know, we used to do everything in this kind of format, but COVID and technology has allowed us to reach out to people quickly, timely, without having to wait, quick Zoom call, and then action. So we plan, we take action, and then we review. So plan, do, review. Plan, do, review. Because there's an element of accountability for 2 things. First of all, are you on track and working? And secondly, as a coach, if I've got a plan, do, review in place, it means when I'm reviewing against a plan. And if I'm reviewing against a plan, I can hold people accountable. Does that make sense? But if we're reviewing where there's no plan in place, what are we even going to talk about? So what I like to think about in the first month is that we're going to be doing some retail. And we're looking at retailing 3-case credits. Now, can I just ask all of you to just think outside the box? So many people, when they first recruit, look at themselves in the mirror and say, but I'm not a leader yet. How many of you have done that? Be honest. I'm not a leader, so how can I lead and plan? I wasn't a leader when I first joined Forever, but let me give you a word of advice. If you recruited somebody 24 hours after you joined, you've got 24 hours more experience than they've got. And so I want to clear up this myth of, I can't be good, I can't be effective, I'm not a leader because I haven't got to manager or I haven't got to... You're a leader the minute you recruit, so you need to own it. And I also need to tell you that when you recruit someone, they're looking to you for guidance. You have a responsibility to guide. And here's the thing, they don't know what you don't know. So they're not judging you. They just want your guidance. So please, as a brand new FBO entrepreneur or someone who's lying in the sand and requalifying, can I please just say, step into your own brilliance, because every one of you is capable. So we're going to plan this 3 case credits. Now, I like to plan launches quickly because launches for me is the quickest way to generate volume. Now, that launch could be if you're working in your community, which I always think is great when you first start because you can have maximum contact, input, connectivity, etc. Then booking a launch is really good. And I think that launch, whether you're male or female, get stuck in. You know, when I recruited my son into Forever and I said to him, right, you need to go and do your first launch. I'll tell you a funny story, actually. He came to me when he was about 19 and said, Mum, can I join Forever? And I said, no, you can't. You're not ready. And he wasn't ready. I knew he wasn't ready. And then when he was 21, he said, Mum, can I start now? I said, yes, you can start now. I said, but you need to buy a box. He said, what, you're not going to give me one? I went, no. So he bought his box and I said, right, we'll plan a meeting. Got the meeting in the diary. He came for his meeting, totally unprepared. So I sat him down. He said, so what do I call you? I said, Mrs. Leach, you'll be fine. Oh dear. But I remember him doing his first launch. I was away in Malaysia on a rally. He didn't obviously know the time difference. And he planned a launch in Cardiff. And he was, off to do it. And he rang me up in the middle of the night. And you panic when your kids ring you in the middle of the night. And he said, Mum, I'm going to do a launch. I said, and? He said, well, what do I do? He said, you're all aloe vera ladies. What do I say? I said, well, you go in and say, hi, I'm not the aloe lady, I'm the aloe guy. And I'm here to have a great time with you all. Do you know he sold nearly £300 in about an hour? So if any of you guys think, oh, no, can't go and do a launch, bit beneath me, get over it. Especially if you're young and you're a bit of a dude, the girls will love it. And he raided we had makeup at the time, he raided my makeup, took it all there, hadn't got a clue how to explain it, passed it round, they all played with it, and he sold a fortune. So when you're doing your launches, don't have a preconceived idea that they're only for women, they're only for this, they're only for that, they're for everybody. Why do I do a launch? I do a launch because when I'm with a brand new FBO, this is what I want to achieve quickly. I want them to watch me in action. So I am going to do the launch, they watch. I want them to focus on 2 products that they're going to talk about during the launch. So they are stepping out of their comfort zone. I want them to get some retail sales. But what I want to do is I want to talk to everybody at the launch about the opportunity. So at the end of the launch, we can turn around and say, well, you retail £200, but we got 3 people keen on the business. That's the power of a launch. So never underestimate just what you can get from the return of an hour's work around someone's kitchen table, socialising, having fun, sharing products that you love. Now, we can do them online and we can do them on WhatsApp. WhatsApp now, I think you can have, did I read the other day, you can have up to 32 people on a WhatsApp video call. But I do WhatsApp launches to 3 or 4 or 5 people at a time, and I only pick maybe 4 or 5 products and focus on them for about 15, 20 minutes. So quick and easy for a brand new FBO to do. And I do Zoom launches as well. You have to do a little bit more preparation at the front end and the back end, but you can reach out to people all around the UK and around the world. So really easy to create quick volume where everybody wins. The new FBO wins on many fronts. You also win because you're creating that, creating the case credits. They're putting money in the pocket. Everybody's happy. So I want you to think about the launches you're going to put in your diary in the first month that you are in the business. And I would suggest one a week. 4 launches. What's the average case credits from a launch? Lucy, what would you say, average case credits from a launch? 1? Tina? Yeah? Half and 1 case credit. Roger? Half to 1. Nicola? About the same, but half to 1, 1.5 to. So imagine if you did 4 launches, there's 4 case credits done in what? 4 hours work? And what did we say? I like that. Zooming along. Yes, it's 32 on a WhatsApp call. See, I knew that anyway. I knew it. So you can use your time to plan in Clean Nines. So you're working with your sponsor. Clean Nines are really good. They're high value, high case credits, high profitability. So why not plan in that you want to retail 1 C9 a week for your first month? Why not plan in those fantastic events where you go and meet a friend for a coffee? Did I say earlier? Did I say where you take your box and see a friend and just go and have half a dozen coffees? I remember going to see a dentist friend of mine one summer, literally sitting in her garden. She eventually said, "What's in the box?" And she spent over £200 with me. So get creative, but don't get creative and just keep it in here. Plan it, put it in your diary, agree it with your sponsor so they can be there to help you. They can do the activity and then review it to see whether you made profit, whether you recruited, and what were the case credits. Because then you count those case credits towards the goal, which is going to be 5 case credits for the month. Because on top of your retail activity, we're looking to recruit somebody. In your first month, you are looking to recruit your first team member. And as far as I'm concerned, this is not open to discussion. This is what I expect. We're looking to recruit somebody. So, you've heard the who do you know list explained. So when I'm working with a brand spanking new FBO, the minute they purchase their box, I say in preparation for our planning meeting, can you give some thought to what you want to achieve this year, short-term goal, and can you please write down 30 people that you want to reach out to and share the business with my help? I need you to come to the planning meeting with that already in a workbook. And they go, okay. See, if you don't tell people what to do, they won't do it. And a lot of people recruit and think just because someone's joined with a box, they're going to miraculously know what to do. They don't. You have to tell them. You have to lay out what the expectations are. So we're going to get into that list. When we get into that list, we're going to start just profiling. And for me, profiling is really easy. I've got a notebook. I have a page. When I'm working with somebody, they have a chunk of that notebook. And every time I have a meeting with them, we're writing down the names of the people they want to speak to. And together we make a plan. And what I do is I plug into the business presentations that Forever do, but I'm not waiting 1 week to another. I'm not waiting. I literally, on Friday, did 3 business presentations in a row. Why? Because I had 3 people that all had people keen to look at the business. You see, you're in the driving seat. You either put it in first gear and cruise along, chugging, or you get straight into 5th gear as quickly as possible and go quick. Success loves speed. It does not like stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. Success likes speed. You could get some nice little cards made. There's lots of different examples of cards that the leaders use. But truly, really, everybody should have some kind of card that they carry with them. Because being able to share a card where you can give it to somebody and then take their number, you've got a reason to follow up. I'm dead cheeky with my contacting. I mean, those of you that have been around me or have worked with me, you'll know I'll speak to anybody. Anybody. Hence, Chris wasn't quick enough the other day. I went into Monmouth. And I had to pick up some paint pots on a Sunday because the decorator was in on the Monday. So this was 2 weeks ago. And I went into Monmouth in my scruffs, picked up the paint pots, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go and have a coffee. And it's not easy going to have a coffee sometimes with the person that should be with you and isn't. So I went into the coffee shop that I don't normally go into, sat in the corner. And as I sat in the corner, I looked around, because I always do, it's habit. And there opposite me were two beautiful black smiley faces. So my ear, this right ear, has the ability to go ching. I tuned in on the conversation. I could hear them talking about going over the border from South Africa into Zim at Baitbridge. And they were talking, and I said, right, come on, James, get your act together. You may be in your scruff, let's go talk to them. So I went up to them, I said, hey, ladies, I didn't want to interrupt you. You both look lovely. I guess you just come from church. And they went, yes, we have. I said, and I guess you're from Zimbabwe. And they went, yes, we are. And I said, well, today's your lucky day. And they went, why? I said, because you met me. And they laughed. And I said, all joking apart, I said, I've just got back from Zim. I was there in November, doing a lot of good business out there. I'm looking for people who might want to have a second income stream here and scale over to Africa. Would you be open? What did I say to you earlier? Would you be interested? Would you be open? They both said yes, swap numbers, got in touch. One of them's joined, bought her box, all ready to have a planning meeting next week, blah-de-blah-de-blah. And her husband saw Chris's card in another shop and gave Chris... I thought it was really funny. Anyway, the long and the short of it is, sorry, you need to be quicker. But you need your cards and your flyers. Or you need to open your WhatsApp, open the QR code, get in touch that way quickly and take a photo of yourself and send it to them, because then they won't forget you. So you need to be on the ball with doing this kind of activity. You need to be reaching out on Facebook. You need to be looking at where you can find people to talk to say, hey, I've got something. I'm massively excited. Want to run it by you. Might be something in it for you, might not, but come and take a look. It's as simple as that. And it's a yes or a no, and it's move on. So, what do we do in month 2? So we got 5 case credits in the bag in month 1. You've learned how to retail. You're feeling more comfortable. Now we need to go for what I call the base month and the qualifying month. So month 2 is all about replication, duplication, doing what you did in month 1, but helping somebody else do it. It's that simple, guys. And actually, if you don't do this, you're going to walk past business because you're so busy looking for brand new people all the time that you forget you've got good teams in place that bring 100, 200, 300 names to the table. And you work with them through their names to get them duplicating because that's your business. So we're going to use and retail the product in exactly the same way that we did before. Get your launches booked in. Look at how you're going to get some launches booked in from customers that are already happy and would maybe have 2 or 3 friends round. And you're going to recruit a new team member. So you're going to do exactly what you did last month. You're going to do 5 case credits. You're going to use and retail 3, and you're going to recruit a new team member. Can you just tell me, does that sound simple? It's because it is. It's that simple, but only if you plan it. Got to plan it. It's a business. If you don't plan it, it won't happen by itself. And what we're going to do is we're going to work with Sue, who we recruited last month, to get her to do exactly what you've just done. Now, if you've already done 5 case credits, do you think you can teach it with the help of your mentor? It's so simple. Show her how to use and to retail 3 case credits and how to find 1 person. And we're beginning to duplicate because what happens now, you're doing 5 case credits again. She's doing 5 case credits. You've now got 10 case credits. It's not bad, is it? Planning. We've planned all of that. It hasn't happened by accident. So in month 3, which is going to be our qualifying month, guess what we're going to do? We're going to do exactly the same as we did before. We're going to use and retail 3. We're going to recruit somebody. We're going to work with Bill, who we sponsored last month, and help him do 5. And we're going to help Sue do her 5 plus with her new person 5. So in total, we've got 20 case credits. Now, if you have 20 in that month and 10 the month before, what happens? You've gone supervisor. It's that simple. Will it be that neat? No. It never is that neat, but you've got to have a starting point in which to say, I am planning. It's no different to you saying, I need to get from A to B, I need to open up a map. Where's the lovely lady from Zambia? Stand up. We've got to give this lady a huge round of applause. She got on a train at 5 o'clock this morning, and it took her 5 hours to get here to be at this event. Do you think that she just got on any random train to see where it would take her? No. She planned it. It was a little bit longer than she thought it was going to take, but nevertheless, you're here. And I've just learned she's in my team in Zambia. So even better. So here we go. It's all about planning. It will never be neat. It will never be perfect. It will never be tidy. But if you don't plan, it won't happen. Now, before we go on to the next part, let's have a look at some duplication. This is a perfect manager plan if you're looking to do manager over 3 to 4 months. And all this is the power of 5 case credits duplicated every month. 5, 10, 20, 35, 45, 50. So what we want each and every one of you to do is be excited to get to supervisor, because when you've got to supervisor, here's the key thing. To get to manager, you only need to help 5 supervisors. If you're going on the 120 rule, if you're going on the 150 rule, then you need to help 3 people get to supervisor. And over that 3 to 4 months, you'll be a manager. But it's all about planning supervisor, learning the skill sets, being open to doing some different things, putting it in the diary, making sure that you work hard for that event to come off, to actually happen, and then duplicating that through to new team members. It's that simple. Yeah. So what we're going to do now is Claire is going to come up in a minute. It's the beautiful, glamorous Claire. I know, but you still look glam. Doesn't matter what you wear, you look glam, don't you? She does. So going to ask Claire to come up. She is a Sapphire manager, car plan, Eagle, chairman's bonus, one of the top ladies in the UK. I'll let her share a story, but it's a wonderful story. She's also half the woman she was. How much?
6 stone.
She's lost 6 stone, which is incredible. So she's going to share with you now what she wants you to do to get ready to plan your business. Please give a big round of applause to Claire.
Thank you, Jane. That's so lovely. Mwah. Thank you. Oh, nice photo.
She poses so well. I'm not a pretty
Oh,
girl.
no, she looks gorgeous, doesn't she? She looks fantastic. So, how's everyone doing? Okay, it's kind of the graveyard shift after lunch, isn't it? The food is setting in, you're starting to feel a bit sleepy, it's warm in here. So you need to pay attention, because I've got a challenge for you at the end of my slot, and you need to have listened to Jane and myself. So make sure you're ready. Just to give you a little bit of history about me, I have been with the company for 15 years. Who remembers Big Claire? Yeah, straight up, yeah, I remember Big Claire. Yeah, so it was all through the weight management products, so they are fantastic, but I didn't build my business on those. So in the early days, I was working for West Mercia Police, and I was just really fed up of shift work. Anyone in here do shift work? It's a killer, isn't it? Honestly, it's a killer. So we were passing, ships passing in the night, my husband and I never saw each other. If I was at work and when I was at home, I'd be sleeping. It was just a nightmare. And I used a childminder. And whenever I picked the kids up from the childminder, she always looked really happy. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to become a childminder. It's the answer to my prayers. I can be at home all the time. It will be fun. Wow. Soon realised when I packed in the police, started my childminding business that cost me 10 grand to set up, why she was so happy, because she was sending all the kids home. Yes, so I was stuck in this situation, looking after other people's kids while they were going off following their dreams, and I was just on this massive wheel of debt. So we were paying for debt with credit, creating more debt. Anyone been in that situation? You just feel like you're sinking, don't you? Can't get out. So I was looking for a bar job. I was going to go and pull pints after wiping kids' backsides all day. So that was going to be fun. And it was actually a lady on the school run who saw me battling a triple buggy in the pouring rain who said, come and have a look at Forever. Now, I'm a policeman's daughter. He's South African, very sceptical family. I was really unconfident, but I saw at least £200 a month. Who joined for just that smaller amount? Yeah, I saw that because it meant I didn't have to get that bar job. So I got started and I listened to all of this amazing training. Obviously, it's updated as the years have gone on, but the core is still there. What we're teaching you now is what I was taught in the beginning. And within 10 weeks, I was earning an extra £1,000 a month, which I thought I'd won the lottery. I was all smug, cruising around Worcester in my battered old car. I had a Vauxhall Zafira, no disrespect to anyone driving one, slidey door, 7-seaters, clunked when I turned right, absolutely hated it. And I got myself, when I got Forever to drive, my first car was a little 2-door Audi. I did not want kids in the back of my car. Obviously, I've got 2 children, so they were literally crammed in the back. But I just wanted to wave goodbye to my old life. And like Chris, no plan B. I was not going to go back to the police, and I certainly wasn't going to look after anyone else's kids. So it was literally onwards and upwards. And I literally implemented everything that you're learning today. My business has completely changed our lives. I've hit chairman's bonus year after year. Not quite 1.5 million like Jane, but I got 159,000 as a chairman's bonus check. That was pretty amazing. I was just saying, not quite your 1.5 million, but I got 159,000. That was the deposit on my dream home. So I could never achieve that working in the police. I could never achieve that childminding. The only place that took me seriously, respected me, and allowed me to shine was Forever. And that's why I'm still here 15 years later. So that's a little back history to me. We want to help you all hit your goals. So some of you might be here because you just want that £200 like I did. That's absolutely fine. Some of you might want more. You literally treat it like a buffet table. You go for what you want. Okay, I am looking for an arrow. There we go. So Jane's just gone through planning your business to supervisor. So we want to look at how to get that base month, that 8 to 10 case credits. I was literally ignorance on fire. I was talking to everybody and anybody who would listen. I didn't care because I was actually building in desperation. So sometimes you can have fear drive you just as much as pretty goals of handbags and cars and holidays. It was actually losing our home that made me get out and get to work, because what would have happened? Literally, where would my life have been? So I literally just went to it. And then month 2, you do the remaining. So this is how we're going to do it, with some great activity. So we've got lots of different types of recruiting activity that you can implement. There might be even stuff that's not even on here that you can start to look at putting into your business. But the key here, I think we've talked about it so much today, is your who do you know list. So the first person that joined my team, I hadn't seen for 15 years. She was an old school friend. She was a nurse. The reason I connected with her was because I put all my old school friends down on my who do you know list. And it sounds like I joined before the wheel was blinking invented, but there was no social media. Facebook was in its infancy. There was no TikTok, no Instagram, no WhatsApp. It was all literally pick up that phone that Chris said, plugged into the wall. And I got in contact with Lydia and she joined me. And through old school methods, because a lot of you know me as a bit of a social media person, Old school methods got her to assistant manager. So who do you know list is so, so important. I've still got a who do you know list today. So if any of you ever tell me that you are going to run out of names, I will literally laugh in your face, because you get out there and you put new names on it. Our job description is to make friends wherever you go. So where can you stop off on the way home? Who can you meet at the service station? Who's going to pop to McDonald's on the way back? Who needs to fill up their car, get coffee, pick up the kids from a friend's? Are they on your who do you know list? So start to think about all of those people in those different places where you can add to it. Events. Who's got some events booked in? Okay, I like that my ladies have got their events booked in. Well done, arm up. They're going to be like, everything I say, they're just going to put their arm up just in case. Events are fantastic. I have met people at events. I did a tabletop at a church toddler group fair, and it was weather like this. It was horrible. My gazebo blew over. My table, I had a trestle table, you know, like wallpaper tables. It broke. So they lent me their stage stairs in the middle of a flipping churchyard, and I had bottles and everything that were flying off constantly. It was an absolute nightmare, carnage. However, I've still got 2 gel drinkers from that event 15 years ago that still buy from me today. They'll never join, they're lovely, they're just quite happy with their beautiful gut health. They are customers for life. So where are you putting yourself in front of people? I've got Jo over there has just started making contact with a women's group. So she's going to go, and she's not going to ram forever in their faces. She's not going to, you know, start prospecting them all. She's going to gently talk about how aloe really helps with gut health. She's going to befriend them. Sounds like I'm like saying you're going to be grooming them, but you're going to befriend them. You're going to be getting them as friends. You're going to get them on your social media. You're going to get them on your who do you know list. And then you're going to go in for the kill. Once you know that, once they're a customer, I want to show you the business behind this. So events are great at getting new contacts. So see what's going on. It doesn't have to be, you know, a massive big, I live by the Three Counties Showground, 500 quid for a table. I'm not paying that. But no, I'll go to the event and I'll slowly start handing my cards out and start taking the cards of the other event and stall holders. So you can start making those connections. Social media. That is a whole training in itself. My tip to you on social media is just showcase the fun you're having. Really show what your forever income is doing for you. Share your goals. Show what you're doing today. Do little videos of you and your friends on your table. If you're on a table and you don't know anyone else, make friends. Take photos, ask people's backstories. People love a testimonial. We're herd animals. We like to follow other people. Do things like that. And when people like or comment on it, just reach out to them and go, thank you so much for your support. How are you today? Just simply like that. That's all I do. I just connect with people. So don't worry about trying to be all fancy on social media. You don't have to twerk. I've never twerked or sung. Now Jane's sung. I think we've all got that on video. But I've never done anything like that. I don't have to act anything other than my genuine self. So that's all I would say. With social media, you can start collecting people just by being yourself and networking. Cards and flyers. Who's got cards and flyers? They are a really great asset. Absolutely fantastic. If I go to a restaurant, I will prospect the waitress, but I'll also leave a couple of flyers on the table. If I'm at a service station toilet, I might put a couple of flyers behind the doors. I think Jane's got a manager from doing that, haven't you? Yeah. Toilet door manager. Wow, I thought my name was bad. In my local area, I'm Gut Girl. Toilet door manager and Gut Girl. It's great, isn't it, these names? So start to do that, because it is a little paper trail of you. But don't get caught up in investing hundreds of pounds in cards. Don't spend 70 hours on Vistaprint looking at designs. Just something simple that you can leave with your name and number. I've got some ladies in the team who have just recruited from leaving handwritten cards on a notice board in the co-op. So it doesn't have to be fancy. So have a look at what's going on in your area, notice boards, leave a little piece of you. It's so, so handy. You can't necessarily monitor the stats with that, but you know if you're getting 300 out in a week, you're potentially going to get a couple of calls back from that. Contact marketing. Who hates contact marketing? Be honest. Okay, Becky, proud of you for being honest. I'm going to change that. Who loves contact marketing? Contact marketing is absolutely awesome, because if you have no who do you know list at all, you don't know anybody, you can literally go and meet people wherever you go. So don't pay for your petrol at the pump, pay in the petrol station. Don't order stuff online, go to the local shops. So start to get in front of different types of people. Just chat to them. I love making people feel nice. So I'd say to you, oh my gosh, your blouse is gorgeous. Where did you get that from? I've been looking for a floral blouse. And you tell me, oh my God, I love that, thank you. And then if you're a barista or you're at Tesco's binging and bonging my stuff, at the end of it, I'll just say, do you know what? I've really loved chatting with you. I would love someone like you to work with me. If I gave you some information about an opportunity I've got, a work from home job, would you have a look at some information? Yes or no? You'd say yes or no, and I'd give you my card, and I'd take your number as well. Or if you don't have cards, I'd say, are you on Facebook or Insta? Sorry to pick on you, but it's horrible, isn't it? It's like I've been at the front of a comedy show before. It's awful. Don't go for a week, because I will really slaughter you. But no, what you can, I don't even know where I am now. So yeah, if you haven't got a card or a flyer, you can literally just get your phone out and say, are you on social media? Most people are, aren't they? Most people. Even my gran was on social media. She didn't know how to use it. But you can then add them as a friend and say, I'll pop you some information. And that's how I do it. So if you spoke to only 2 people every day, that's 780 prospects across a year that you can get onto your who do you know list. If you've got really rubbish stats, then and you only recruited 50 people out of 780, that's still on average 4 a month. Who's recruiting 4 a month? No hands. Come on, girls. Pretend, put your hands up. Yeah, it works, Claire. No, but seriously, who would love that? So as one element of activity, just speaking to people everywhere. How many people have driven past a garage or a services on the way here and thought, oh, should have gone in there. Would have been able to put my hand up. Yeah, so just think about wherever you are. If there's a new person you can talk to, get talking to them. What else have we got? Reconnecting. Who's ever had someone say no to them? Okay. Oh, God. So there's either a lot of people who aren't prospecting or you're lying, because I've had a lot of people say no to me. Go back to them. You don't know about situations. So I have people that I have recruited who said no to me years ago, and they felt they couldn't come back to me because they had said no, or who's been ignored. You get the blue ticks that they've seen it and then no response. Yeah. And then they feel embarrassed, they feel ashamed. So you hold the olive branch out. You come back round, it could be a couple of months, it could be a couple of years. Just wanted to swing back round and see how life's treating you, what's happening in your world. Just start a conversation. You don't have to go, are you ready to join me yet? You can just have a conversation. Has anything changed since we last spoke? And then naturally they'll ask how you are, and then that's where you go, oh my God, life's amazing, I'm having an absolute blast. Anyway, back to you, how's your crappy little life? So start going back to all of those people that you connected with years ago. Start trawling back through your Facebook messages. It might be old WhatsApp messages. You might have old activity sheets. Get it all out. Go back through it, because you might have a couple of little diamonds hiding away in there. So groups, that kind of loops in a little bit with events, but have you got, oh my gosh, toddler groups? I was literally all over them when I was childminding. It was brilliant. Just sidle up to another mum. How you doing? Which one's yours? You can't do that if you haven't got a kid. You look like a weirdo. So if you've got a child or a grandchild or access to a friend's child, offer to take them to the park, offer to take them to a toddler group, because there are a lot of bored mums there just sat scrolling on their socials. Start chatting to them. I do the same with my dog now. I recruited another woman and I was in the middle of a wood, and she had a puppy, a Mastiff puppy. If anyone follows me on social, you see I've got a Mastiff puppy as well. And I just went, oh my God, I love your dog. Can I connect with you on social so I can watch him grow up? She didn't think I was mental. People don't think you're mental. And because we were on social media, I was drip feeding my amazing world of forever. And she was like, I really want a piece of that. And she was a vet and she came on board. And then I got a Mastiff puppy. So you never know who you're going to meet. Don't be scared to say, oh, I'm in social media, can we connect? That's all I say. I don't say, oh, I've got my own business, I'm going to help you earn an extra income. It's aloe vera and we grow all our own aloe and there's goats and everything. They don't know any of that. I just say, I'm in social media or I have my own business, I'd love to connect with you. People love to connect. Customers. Who's got customers? Okay, who has talked or who hasn't talked to their customers about the business? And I think Chris said it earlier on. Customers don't necessarily know that there's a business for them behind this. They haven't got a clue. A lot of my customers don't have a clue until I tell them, did you know that you could do this too? And they're like, really? So that's when I start to share the opportunity with them. And I do recruit an awful lot of my customers. And usually it's the ones that have had benefit from the weight management because they've got real belief in it. And it's the ones who have benefit from the gel drinks because they feel massive benefits with that. So think about those customers that you've developed, nurture them, show them the opportunity. You don't know where that can take you. And referrals. If you've ever had someone say no to you, don't be afraid to say, not a problem. Do you know just one person who might want to earn £500 a month working flexibly, working with me? And they might go, sugar, I've just said no. Now I want 500 quid. But I always say, do you know just one person? Because if I said to you, Roger, do you know anybody? You'd be like, I don't know anybody. But if I said, do you know just one person? You'd be like, my friend Brian. I reckon he'd be interested. Or I could give you his name or number. So always ask, do you know just one person? If ever they say no, ask your customers as well for referrals. Do you know anybody who would love gut health just like you? Because you never know where that might lead. Or do you know anybody who would like to earn an extra income doing what I do? They might then as well say, actually me. So everything needs to be a referral. Anyone who says yes, anyone who says no. If they say yes to your business and they've got referrals, they'll naturally become their team members. So what you need to do is choose 2 or 3 of these to do consistently, because that is going to give you amazing results. There's more detailed information on activity on the rolling training. So make sure you're watching all of those and picking up all that info. So your 7-day plan. Does anyone, if you want to admit it, work blindly on your business and just be like, activity, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just doing it? So you need to get a little bit of discipline, a little bit of control in what you're doing, because then you'll feel when you have your days where you're not doing as much, you'll be like, do you know what? I deserve a little bit of time off. That's fine, because I know I've done all of this activity. If you're working blindly, you don't actually know what's happening. You don't know what's coming. So having a plan means you've got something to work towards every day. And you won't hit burnout either, because you'll be able to focus on that plan. So on your plan, you need retail activities. So think about, okay, I want to do a gel drinking campaign. So my 7-day plan will be, on day 1, I'm going to think of one unique selling point for gel. I see so many people put posts, and I've done it before, and there's about 17 different reasons why you should drink gel on one post. No, drip feed it. Okay, so day 1, did you know? I always start it and I tell my team to do, did you know? Because it's a catchy little thing, isn't it, for people to look at. Did you know I drink aloe vera, or you can drink aloe vera for mental clarity? It's fantastic for your guts, and your guts are your engine. It's going to help you think clearly. Day 2, did you know anything itis is inflammation? Aloe vera is a natural anti-inflammatory. If any of this is uncompliant, I'm sorry. It's a natural anti-inflammatory. Who has anything that aches? Day 3, did you know aloe vera is fantastic for your skin? We can knock 10 years off of you by drinking aloe vera every day. Do you see what I'm saying? So keep it as a running theme, and that kind of tags into your social media. You're going to get people invested in your story and into your journey. They're going to follow you. So you don't want to just give it all in one go. You want to drip feed, keep people hanging on, listening to the next thing. Recruiting activities, put those on your 7-day plan. Okay, if you're going to go out carding, what day are you going to do that? Are you going to set yourself a challenge by putting 10 cards by your front door every day and making sure you're going to give 10 cards to 10 people that day? Or are you going to do it all in a one at the weekend, because that's when your time is? What are you going to go contact marketing? Are you going to make 5 phone calls a day? Whatever you're doing, whatever your activity is, schedule it down, because it feels amazing when you tick it off. And you'll start to see the stuff that you actually avoid and the stuff that you really love doing. Just do more of what you love doing. If it's getting you results, just do more of it. Personal development. Does anybody do personal development in here? Does anyone go, I don't really know what you mean? I didn't know what it meant. I was like, what do you mean, personal development? For me, Personal development is getting out in the countryside with my dogs so I can plan. Personal development for me is listening to an audio book for half an hour a day. I can't do any more than that because I get sidetracked, I lose concentration. So I make sure I schedule that in. Personal development for me is exercising and getting into new groups of people. So challenging myself mentally and physically, for me, that's personal development, and that's helping me grow as a person. But I actually put that in as work activity. So if any of you follow me, I do nighttime bike riding. That for me is that's activity, because I'm meeting new people, I'm getting exercise, I can blog about it, it's ticking loads of those activity lists off. And I've started now getting people asking me about the business. I haven't rammed it down their throat, I want them to come to me. So all of that for me is really helping me mentally, and it's helping my business grow as well. And I listen every day without fail, half an hour every morning. I listen to positive affirmations and manifesting tracks. My whole family walk around going, I am healthy and wealthy, because they just hear it on loop every morning. But even though they're taking the mick, I know it's sinking in. And trainings, get your trainings in. So feed yourself with knowledge. A lot of you here have probably, who are not new, heard all of this before. But who's heard a new golden nugget because maybe their mentality is in a different frame of mind? You might have heard it before, but now it resonates. Yeah, you're always growing, you're always changing. That's why I go to trainings all the time. You know, I haven't been a supervisor for 14 and a half years, yet I'm here learning how to get to supervisor again, because it will help me bring in an extra 25 case credits. Who doesn't want that? And it's going to help me coach my team as well. So I'm here with a different mentality. I'm learning from these guys to take notes to take back to my team. A lot of you are here learning for the first time to implement in your business. So never think you're too good for training. I promise you, you'll miss out massively. So we've heard about how to get to supervisor. Now what you do is you start to look at your activity chart. So whenever I do these charts with my team or myself, I always give myself a worst case and a best case, because this is all predicted info, isn't it? You can't guarantee exactly what's going to happen, because guess what? We work with actual people, and people can be quite annoying, can't they? Change plans on you. So what we do is we look at, right, what activity are you doing in your business, okay? So personal use and gifts. Does that mean I'm going to get lots of presents from you all today? So personal use and gifts, and I literally give all of my family aloe, but that does slap me in the face, because they just wait for birthdays and Christmas to restock their aloe, because they know I'm going to restock it for them. I've literally just bought my mum 3 tubs of Arctic Sea for her birthday. Wow. She's blessed. So, personal use and gifts. If you're on your own at home or a couple, you're probably going to be using about half a case credit. But if you've got kids, family, you've got a lot, there's a lot of you using the products. I use a lot of the weight management shakes. We get through a hell of a lot of gel. My daughter still doesn't understand use less shampoo. She still feels a handful of it. So I have to buy more lots. We get through about a case credit, just ourselves. Then you look at repeat customers. So these are the customers you're investing your time in. I love my gel drinkers. I look after them. I give them like a little freebie for every 10 bottles they purchase with me. They get one free, or they get a sample for another product. Keep them loyal by looking after them. It could be that as you're beginning, half a case credit. It could be those repeat customers give you about a case credit. You've got online launches. We've heard from Jane explaining that already. It could be between 1 to 2. We've also got live launches. You can see by being in front of people, you get more. So get in front of people. I'm doing a launch tonight, but it's online because she lives a zillion miles away. It'll take me about 6 hours to drive to her. I consider anyone within an hour local, and I'm prepared to do 2 to 3 hours to drive to someone to launch their business. So you can do 1.5 to 3 case credits. Again, network in that room. C9s, look at the big case credit value products. So you've got the collagen, the C9s, things like that. So you really focus on those. I don't tend to sell many lip balms and propolis creams. It doesn't mean I don't love them, but I do focus on a small product group. So I tend to sell collagen, C9s, Fit 15s, DX4s, aloe vera gel and shakes. Those are my top sellers, and they're all those consumables that people come back to. So half a case credit to a case credit. Experience packs are fantastic. Whilst you're busy, here you could have 3 or 4 different people in different houses trying out your products. You don't have to have 20 products in a pack. You don't have to spend a fortune. The duplicates in your business box are perfect. Somebody says, I want to try your skincare. You don't have to go and buy a whole skincare range. I just put in the liquid soap and maybe some propolis. Just say, try that on your face. It's gorgeous. They'll get to know it there. So you can do between 1 to 2 case credits. And sponsoring. So again, that recruitment activity, you're sponsoring between 1 to 3 people. That's 2 to 6 case credits. So you can see as you tot it up there, how you build the case credits by taking little bits from everywhere else. Does this make you feel a little bit better when you see that massive 25? Oh my God, how am I going to get 25? Actually, when we break it down and break it down over 2 months, it just makes those little chunks, those little elements smaller.